everybody, wonderful, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And I have Elspeth Feldman here. And we are so excited to have you here. We are talking about this amazing thing called the bundle. And we wanted to just take some time to chat about how we're connected with the bundle and what the bundle is, and share some beautiful recipes from the bundle. And so I'd like to welcome Elspeth. Welcome, Elspeth.
Jennifer, so great to be here. And first off, I have to say happy birthday to you. I know this is a special day in the ring around the sun, and happy birthday to you, Jennifer. I'm delighted to meet you, and really happy and excited to talk about the vegan health bundle. So I know this is the first time, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's my birthday, and what a gift to be able to share about the power of food through the bundle on my special day. And thank you so much for recognizing it. And so I just wanted to ask you a little bit. So I understand that you have a recipe book called Sweet and Savory Summer Recipes that you put in the bundle. And when I was looking through it, and here are some of your recipes, I read that you were raised on a dairy farm in Zimbabwe. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So while I live currently on the east coast of the United States, was born and raised in Zimbabwe, and came to this country when I was just 22 years old. So yeah, so I've been here for 37 years. I don't know, I have to do the math. 35 years, something like that. 37 years. So yeah, my husband is American, and he lured me over the Atlantic Ocean, and here I am. So yes, I was raised on a dairy farm with lots of obviously dairy, eggs. My mother did poultry as well, so we had Jersey cows, lots of heavy cream and cheese and meat and all the things. But we also ate a lot of vegetables and fruit. So we had huge fruit orchard and vegetable garden, and had everything. So that was my life growing up.
That's so amazing and incredible. When I read that, I'm like, oh my gosh, somehow you made it here. And I do know that you do a lot of dishes or different things with your daughter at times, but I read that your son was the inspiration for changing your food. Do you want to share about that?
Sure. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we always ate pretty healthy, and, a wide variety of things, but definitely included, just because you had to have a meat at every meal, or every, dinner, there had to be, something, chicken, fish, beef, pork, anything. That's just because that's the way you were raised, right? And then
exactly.
2011, I was out to dinner with my son, and he said, Mom, I think I'm going to go vegetarian. And I was like, well, that's weird. Okay. I mean, he was a real jock, played in lacrosse and basketball and soccer and everything. And he was like, why on earth would you be vegetarian? But I was like, okay, it's like, you've got to be a mom. You've got to embrace everything your kids want to do. And I said, sure, okay. Be a vegetarian. We'll figure this out. And I didn't really think too much of it because I thought it would only last a week. And then a year later, he was still vegetarian. And we sat him down and we said, look, this has been great, but you're going to have to add one of these, chicken, fish, whatever it is, I'll cook it, we'll do it. So he reluctantly said, okay, chicken. And we sat down at the table, and he just couldn't eat it. He was like, forget it. He was like, no way, not doing it. And I was like, okay, respect, no problem. Okay. I mean, I don't know why I insisted that he try, because he was thriving, he was flourishing, he was doing everything that a 16-year-old boy should do. And for some reason, it was just I made up my mind that he needed to have more protein because he was definitely missing out on something, right? So he refused, and it was right about the time that Forks Over Knives had come out. So my husband and I sat down and watched Forks Over Knives, and we, turned off the documentary and looked at each other and said, he might be onto something. So let's look into it. So we did, and we thought, well, let's do a 28-day challenge. Rip Esselstyn was on that documentary, and he had a 28-day challenge at that stage. He was like, let's just try it, but we weren't going to be vegan, we were going to be, because that was too far gone, right? We were going to try vegetarian. So we said, okay, let's do it 28 days. And then I started that very first week, I started researching and researching and researching. And, you know, when you're new to something, I'm turning every stone. And I started looking at this vegetarian thing and it didn't make any sense to me at all. I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea what happened to cows. I mean, I grew up around cows. I used to go with my dad. You know, we'd have to take the little male calves to the abattoirs to be slaughtered because you didn't keep the males, you know, because this was a dairy farm. You kept the females.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember being very sad and you know, crying with my sister and begging our dad to, please, can we just save this one calf and stuff. But you know, my dad, you know, he was a farmer. I think it broke his heart too, but you know, this is what you had to do. But as an adult, you know, I'd lost that completely and stopped thinking about it. So anyway, circle back to once I started uncovering more about being a vegetarian versus a vegan, I realized that in my heart of hearts, I was a vegan. And I mean, I wanted to be vegan. So I thought, okay, well, I'll try vegan. And that's what I did. And I told my husband, I'm going to, you know, cut out the dairy and the eggs because I just can't do it, knowing what I know now. I watched a very important documentary called, I think it's called The Greatest Speech You'll Ever Hear, or yeah, something like that. And it's about it's a documentary by, now I forgot his name, Yorovsky. I've forgotten his name completely. It'll come back to me in a minute. But anyway, it was a really important documentary, and he was in front of a bunch of college kids and talking to them about veganism, and it just connected with me. So I decided to be vegan, and my husband kept eating dairy for a few more years, and then he read Rich Roll's book, Finding Ultra, and he's a real athlete, and he thought he couldn't do it without the dairy and eggs and cheese. And so once he read Rich Roll's book, Finding Ultra, he cut all that and he became vegan as well. So made it much easier. And then my son, you know, became vegan, and my daughter, you know, joined as well. So yeah, she eats, she's pescatarian. She does eat fish and things like that now, but that's, you know, just in the last year or so.
Nice. Oh my gosh, what an amazing story you have. And it's so awesome to hear how you all came together now. I did want to say it's interesting and wonderful that you supported your son when you know, as parents, I'm a mom as well. We think, you know, we know what's right for our child, right? And so, but for you to be like, okay, I'm going to support you in this journey, even though I think you're missing something. Let me make the chicken, right? Whatever. That I think is kind of what a lot of people experience when they don't understand. And it just goes to show you that being able to be open to the idea and researching it, you might just learn something different. And so that's cool.
Exactly.
So I see you have some goodies over there. I would love to hear what you're going to do there. And yeah.
So I thought, you know, it's Sunday morning. I keep it in the sort of brunch mode. You know, we're here talking about the Vegan Health Bundle as well, which is a fantastic compilation of 83 pieces of content, recipe books, a lot of recipe books, thousands of recipes, you know, exercise, lectures, all sorts of things. But my contribution to the bundle is a 3-part series that I recorded back in 2020 with my daughter. First part of the series is a brilliant breakfast and brunch, and then there's a marvelous Mediterranean, and then an amazing Asian. So each class, it's a recorded class, 2 hours of, you know, about an hour and a half of the cooking, and then recipes to go along with it. So the brunch section, you know, sort of this morning I was like, what am I going to make? And my husband was like, I want tofu scramble. So I'm like, okay, tofu scramble it is. So I'm going to do a tofu scramble, and then I'm also going to make one thing from your book as well. So I do want to get going on the tofu scramble, because I've got this very hot stainless steel pan here with nothing in it at all. I don't cook with any oil. I'm not completely opposed to oil, but I don't cook with oil. So, you know, if people want oil, you can add oil, but I don't cook with oil. So, and all of the recipes in this Vegan Health Bundle are oil-free. So I just have a hot pan here. If you heat up the pan in advance and then you add the vegetables to it, the stainless steel has like a non-stick, it forms its own sort of non-stick coating just because the pan is so hot. So I'm just just going to get these onions.
Yeah, that looks great. And I just want to say hello to everybody that's here in the chat. I can see we have Jill Caperton, and I see Gina, and anyone else that's here. Thank you so much for tuning in live with all of us. This is new software, so I think we're going to try to see if we can blow you up just for a minute while I talk. Let's see if we can do that. You can't just put her in. Okay. Well, anyways, that looks great. And yes, the bundle. Oh my gosh. So many
garlic here. I'm just going to quickly mince up in one of my favorite little tools here. Now, garlic I add after the onions because garlic tends to burn real quick. So I'm also going to add my mushrooms. I've got some sliced up mushrooms here. The mushrooms are going to release a whole lot of liquid into this pan. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm just going to get this going, and then we'll talk more about the bundle. And I want to hear about your contribution as well.
Yeah, so absolutely. Right now you have the hot pan with the onions, with the mushrooms, and you're going to be making some onion or garlic in there, right?
Yes, I got my garlic. Do you have this wonderful little food chopper?
I do. Do you know it was gifted to me by a dear friend who's actually in the chat, Gina, and I love it.
It's the best. I just love it. Chef AJ turned this on to me way back when, early on, like 2014 or something, and I got it, and I tell you, I use it all the time. So.
Yeah, I'll show you. I've got mine right here. I have a different lid, but and it's great because I can put ginger in it or anything like that. And then the longer you pull it, the finer the pieces are. And so I love seeing that you use that to incorporate my favorite three things that you combined, right? Onion, mushrooms, and garlic.
I'm looking at tofu, and it's right in front of me. Oh my goodness. So the other part of the tofu, and so onions, mushrooms, and garlic, right? You know how my kitchen is smelling right now.
I bet. Amazing. I wish we had that. I wish we had smell-o-vision or some kind of way that I could, smell into your kitchen.
So I have this tofu. I have some tofu here, which I've just strained. I'm a big tofu person. Are you, Jennifer?
I do enjoy tofu and tempeh, yes, very much so. And even those soy curls. Have you tried those?
I don't actually cook with them, but I need to. I need to expand my repertoire. So I'm using a little turmeric here.
Oh, beautiful.
You don't want to use too much turmeric, but you want just enough. It's got a lot of anti-inflammatory properties that are always great. And then I put in some black pepper because supposedly black pepper activates the turmeric. So I'm going to add pepper. Every time I use turmeric, I'll add some pepper. I also have the other ingredients I'm going to use some salt-free seasoning. My favorite salt-free seasoning is called Mrs. Dash. Sorry, not Mrs. Dash. Benson's Table Tasty, but I'm going to be using Mrs. Dash here today, which is also really great. This is just, so I'm not a big measuring kind of person, but I kind of estimate all the all the measurements are in the recipe, in the bundle, in the vegan health bundle. And then I'm going to be adding some nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is an ingredient that a lot of us vegans use. Adds a nice flavor, gives a little bit of sort of cheesiness to things. And this is the Sari brand. A lot of my tools and ingredients and things are on my website. My website is the Speedy Vegan, and I do have an Amazon store there. So what I typically do, I'm not going to do it here, is I will get my hands and I'll crumble the tofu. So I'm just going to sort of try and mince it up a little bit, or maybe I will crumble it. Hands are clean. It's just the best way to do it with tofu, I find.
Yeah, that looks amazing. And I actually really enjoy playing with my food. So any chance I get to get my hands in it, I think it's really fun. And, that's the whole thing, is having fun with stuff, even if you're not comfortable with it. And so I think that's great. Also, yes, you're known as the Speedy Vegan. And I know that you have had some background with being, going through cooking chef becoming maybe I don't know what it is, but you've definitely had some experience in schools for cooking, right?
Yes. So let me just rinse my hands real quick.
Yes,
I'll
go
keep
ahead.
here.
So
So
yeah, go ahead. I can still hear you.
so I I've always loved cooking. So I've grown up cooking everything and anything from a very young age. My father died very young, at age 47. Sorry, Prince. Can you hear him barking?
I do, and I love it. And we're sending hello barks back, and I've got a little guy here too. So we're dog lovers.
He's coming over here to check what's going on.
Yeah, he probably smells the amazing food cooking. My goodness, I wish I could come over and have breakfast with you guys.
He is a absolute vegetable lover. So usually when I have things like broccoli or zucchini, cauliflower, oh my gosh, he just comes over looking for things. Hey, I don't know if you can see him over here. Come over here, Prince. Come over here. Go over here.
Oh my goodness, he's beautiful. Hi, sweetie.
He's gonna watch. He always watches the cooking. So
He,
this is Prince, by the way.
hi, Prince. Did Prince help donate to the bundle?
He donates with his love and care and his direction here. And he's very helpful, as I say, every time I drop vegetables, picking things up for me. So it's super helpful. Yeah. Good boy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so here we have our tofu scramble. This is full. Another ingredient that I love to add, it's optional, is I'll add some spinach directly into it as well, just so we have our greens.
I love that.
So we have Dr. Furman always talks about G-bombs. Dr. Furman is one of the contributors to the Vegan Health Bundle, and he has a acronym that helps us sort of get a lot of our nutrients in. It's called G-bombs. So it's greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, nuts, and seeds. So here, if I add some spinach in here, and I'll just add the spinach to the tofu scramble. You can saute it on the side if you prefer, just water saute. So the greens are the spinach, beans is the tofu, because tofu is made with soybeans. I've got mushrooms and onions. I just don't have any nuts or seeds in here. But this is a nice, nutritious brunch dish that I love to serve my family, not just on a Sunday morning, but anytime. So.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks beautiful. And I love that, yeah, the spinach will be able to wilt, naturally, which, saves on cleaning because you don't have another pan and all of that.
Yeah. And then, how I plate it is I usually just, put it on a plate with some little cherry tomatoes or something like that, that I will serve it with. And then I've also love avocado with this particular dish. So I'll just, cut up some cherry tomatoes and have a nice, I'll plate it up in a little bit whilst you're talking about your bundle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And, it looks like, I mean, the other way that I'm thinking is like, wow, I could put that in, a corn tortilla and,
Exactly.
Add salsa to it, or it's very versatile dish that you have there.
You're on to me, Jennifer. That's why, it's just my husband and we're empty nesters. So we're just the two of us here and you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's a whole lot of tofu. And that is exactly the reason why, because this can go into a wrap. This can go into lettuce cups. This can go into, I can also doctor it up and change the flavors a little bit for another meal tomorrow. I'm the queen of disguise when it comes to leftovers.
That's great.
And my husband's like, oh my gosh.
And this recipe is in your Sweet and Savory Summer cookbook that you have put into the bundle, correct? If anybody was interested. So
yes. And the Sweet and Savory, this is in the brunch class, breakfast and brunch. It's just one of the many recipes in that section. And it's, it's a good one. It's really, I fool my non-vegan friends all the time with the tofu scramble. They really don't know. It's kind of like scrambled eggs. It looks like scrambled eggs. It doesn't quite, I don't remember what scrambled eggs taste like, but to me it tastes incredible. And then you can just customize it, put whatever things you want in it. And it looks really pretty when you plate it. So, yeah. So I usually put a few little tomatoes and then I might let the spinach wilt a little bit more and then plate it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And that is great. Yes, there are so many wonderful things in the bundle this year. This is the first time that I am a contributor to the bundle. I, in the past, have purchased the bundle, and it's very different than the last few times that I've purchased it, which is great, right? You get just so much information, not just recipes and cookbooks, which are great, but there are so many other things, like you mentioned, Dr. Furman. There's yoga, affirmations, there's coaching, which I'm also a contributor to, part of a coaching thing, and it just goes on and on. And so for $49, you can click the link, get the bundle, and you have over $5,000 value. I think last time I checked, wasn't it like $5,400 worth of content if you purchased everything separately?
Yes. Yeah. And I assume you have your link in the show notes or something below. So if you click on the link, you can get the bundle using Jennifer's affiliate link. If you want to, I usually do most of my stuff over on Instagram. I'm the Speedy Vegan at Instagram. You don't have to buy the bundle from me, but my link is in the bio, and you can at least hit that follow button, because I do post recipes like that. So I'd love to stay connected with people, on my Instagram. So please, the Speedy Vegan is my website and my Instagram. I am on Facebook, but I always forget to check Facebook, so I'm really a bad Facebook person.
Yes, the Speedy Vegan. Yes, so you can purchase the bundle through either of our bios, whatever works for you. Just the idea is to go ahead and get it, because it's such an amazing thing. There's so much content in there. It's too much even to try to share everything, but there's even a thing on blood pressure and just all kinds of stuff in there. And I want to ask you, the Speedy Vegan. Now, I understand that you and your husband are very active. I think do you ride bikes or hike or whatever?
My husband is the big athlete these days. I used to road ride with him, but I got a little spooked out there with the trucks and the vehicles on the road. I'm very much inside on the trainer or trail riding. I don't go on the roads anymore. So the Speedy Vegan, the name the Speedy Vegan came about because I guess I used to see people doing cooking, and it would be like this 2-hour thing where they would make like 2 things, right? And I was just like, oh my gosh, it doesn't take that long to make gravy. It doesn't take, it's like, why does it? I just want the speedy version. And my husband's like, there we go. Why don't you be the Speedy Vegan? So the Speedy Vegan, all because I cook fast, not that I run fast or anything like that. In fact, I bad meat. But I walk fast and I cook fast. I'm very, as my daughter calls it, she said, Mom, you're very efficient in the kitchen. I'm known for not really planning ahead too much. So I finish work, and then I'm here back in my kitchen, and dinner's on the table in 15 minutes. So I love it. I cook speedy. I don't run speedy.
I love it. I love it. And I just want to say one other thing, that you also have another contribution that you did, that's Feel Fabulous Over 40 with Dr. Sabatino and Angela Fischetti, if you wanted to talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, so I do cooking demos once every 2 months for a group called Feel Fabulous Over 40. And it was a group that Chef AJ was very much involved in. And Toby has this group, and it's a very, it's for people who really are wanting to lose weight and be healthy, so it's not just, weight, but it's quite strict or quite disciplined in like, for instance, you wouldn't use avocado. It's too caloric. So it's very strict, no oil. It's soap free. So sugar, oil, salt, flour, alcohol, and things like, too much. The avocado is not on it. Nuts and seeds aren't on it. So it's just a different kind of recipe. So sometimes I'll take my regular recipes and then I streamline it for the Feel Fabulous Over 40 group. But it's a tremendous supportive group for people who are just needing a little bit of extra support in their health journey and trying to figure out the whole vegan whole food, plant-based side of things rather than just straight vegan. They wanted to get the more, healthy side of things. So talking about feel fabulous over 40, and here I am putting avocado on the plate.
That's okay. I originally on my journey was part of that group and really enjoyed it. But yes, it's a little bit different, but it's still wonderful, and it's really supportive. I've met a lot of people through the group, and so it's wonderful to have you and Dr. Sabatino and Angela Fischetti, who does fitness, in the bundle, as well as your private sweet and savory summer recipe book.
Yeah, it's a great group to be in. I highly recommend people check that contribution.
Nice. We've got some people in the chat. Plant Powered Peddler Janet says, I made Elspeth's pico de gallo this morning.
Yeah, so that's the tofu scramble. It's gonna be perfect for brunch. My husband's just coming home from pickleball. He's a huge pickleball guy these days, which I'm thrilled about because I worry about him out there on the bike all the time. So he's just back from the gym and ready for his brunch. So this will be perfect for him. He'll probably have it with a big piece of toast or something like that as well. So
that sounds wonderful. Yeah, it looks great. And so I just want to let you know that I made a couple of your recipes that are in the sweet and savory summer contribution as well. And this is the vanilla chia peach pudding. And so I have these, and I'm planning on sharing this. When my family comes over, we're going to be celebrating my birthday later. And I thought, well, I need something else. And so I made your zucchini noodle pad thai.
Oh, I love that one.
And oh my gosh, I have the sauce right here, which is amazing. And I actually made this already and brought it to a potluck, not a crumb to bring home. It was a big hit. And so I thought this would be I love all the colors. And all I'm going to do is wait until it's ready to be served and then pour the wonderful sauce that you gave the recipe to. So, yeah.
It's delicious, yeah. And I am going to be I won't probably do it now, but I am going to be making your creamy smoothie, the banana mint, spinach. So it's spinach, banana mint, some of the ingredients in it. And I love that little other secret ingredient in there that you added, vanilla bean powder. I'm a big fan of vanilla bean powder. So.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that you want to try that. That is like one of my son's favorite smoothie that we make. And so I'm glad to hear that you'll try it. This has been so fun. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Yeah, I just want to quickly tell people. So the bundle, right? As Jennifer mentioned, there's 83 pieces of content. What I do with the bundle is I use my iPad and I use the Books app. So I'll get, if you buy the bundle, download the, you can get the thing and then just download all the ones that you want. So for instance, I have Jennifer's book here. I have, whoops, let me just go back here. You can just go through the bundle and click on each, so these are all the titles of the books that I've done. So if I want to click on, let's find Jennifer's book right there. So I could just click on that and I can, go through all of her recipes. There's that smoothie I was going to make. You can, check them out. And then if I want to go back to my book or something, there's actually a book, a collaboration book. It's called the Bundle Collaboration. Oops. So I can go through the recipes here. There's some vegan brownies that I'm going to be making in a little bit. I've got there's some sweet potato brownie recipes in there. So get the bundle. Don't worry about the fact that there's 83 things to download. Just choose the ones that you want and then go from there. You have the rest of your life to enjoy this bundle, but you do have to download it within the year.
Yes, that's a really good point, that some people feel overwhelmed because you get so much, but you can, once you download it, it's yours forever. You can move it to any kind of drive or storage or whatever, and then there's no rush. And you're also right. Even if there's only like 1 or 2 or 3 things that you want, you only want to download those,
Exactly.
If you think about, the value of each of those things is probably just on its own. One of these things could be over $49. So
exactly.
it's great.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Elspeth. It's been so fun hanging out with you. I look forward to doing it again, maybe in the future if you'd love. And I just want so badly to take a bite of that.
Well, I know you've got to go and celebrate your birthday, enjoy your family, enjoy your day, but I would love to maybe try and get you on my Instagram at some point this week. I am a full-time working person, so it's a little hard, but maybe I'll ping you and we'll try and do something over on my Instagram so that my audience can meet you as well. But lovely to meet you, Jennifer. Happy birthday, and thanks so much. And I look forward to connecting with some of your audience over on my Instagram page this evening.
Yes, I would love to take you up on that. So just reach out and we'll connect, and that would be super fun. Super fun.
Right.
Thank you so much again for the birthday wishes. And for you guys out there, don't forget to eat your greens, give plants a chance, and hey, click the link and buy the bundle.
Jennifer.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, Elspeth. It's amazing to be with you. Bye for now.